Okay, so AI, right? It's like everywhere these days. Headlines, social media, you can't escape it.
Yeah, it's definitely having a moment, that's for sure.
Totally. But here's the thing. How much do we really understand about AI beyond the buzzwords? Like, what does it even mean for something to be artificially intelligent?
That's the million-dollar question, right? And luckily, we've got this awesome document all about AI definitions to help us unpack it all.
Score. Because let's be real for a sec. Sometimes it feels like you need a PhD just to understand what these AI experts are even talking about.
I hear you. So that this deep dive, consider it your cheat sheet to AI.
Love it. So first things first, what is AI, really? When we strip away all the hype, what are we actually talking about?
Well, this document really nails it down to three core things. It's about machines learning, solving problems, and dealing with uncertainty, basically, mimicking the core elements of what we call intelligence, but in a machine.
Okay, that makes sense. But isn't that just like really advanced programming? What makes it truly learn?
Good question. This is where machine learning, or ML, comes in. We're talking about giving computers the ability to learn from data without explicitly programming every single step.
Okay, so instead of giving the computer a set of instructions, we're kind of showing it a bunch of examples and letting it figure out the rules.
You got it. Like, imagine trying to explain how to ride a bike by writing a list of rules. It's near impossible. With ML, we're essentially saying, hey, computer, watch how these people ride and figure it out.
Okay, that's actually a really helpful analogy. So it learns by example. But the document also mentioned different types of machine learning, right?
Yeah, there's supervised learning, where we give the computer labeled data. It's like, here's a picture of a cat, this is a dog, and this one, nope, not a cat. The computer learns to identify those patterns on its own.
Right, right. But then there's also unsupervised learning, right? What happens then? No teacher around.
Exactly. With unsupervised learning, we're basically giving the computer a puzzle with no picture on the box. We give it data and let it figure out the categories and relationships itself.
Wow, that's kind of mind-blowing. The computer's like, all right, let's see if I can spot some patterns here. Pretty wild.
It is. And then there's reinforcement learning, which is kind of like training a puppy.
Oh, yeah. The document mentioned that. That sounds especially fascinating. Like, how does that work?
So imagine you're teaching a dog a new trick. You reward them when they get it right.
Right, positive reinforcement.
Exactly. Reinforcement learning is similar. We put an AI agent in an environment, think a game or a simulation, and it learns by trial and error. It gets rewarded for taking actions that lead to the desired outcome.
So it's like figuring out the rules of the game as it goes and getting better over time. No explicit instructions, just learning by doing.
Precisely. And that connects back to that idea of AI systems becoming more autonomous, more adaptable, which brings us to this whole software 2.0 thing.
Oh yeah, software 2.0. That definitely sounded like a game changer. What's the deal with that? It almost felt like the document was saying, out with the old, in with the AI.
It's a pretty big shift. Think of it this way. Traditional programming, software 1.0, is like writing a recipe step by step. But software 2.0 is like saying, hey, AI, here's 1,000 cookbooks. Figure out how to bake the most amazing cake.
Oh, that's quite an analogy. So instead of hard-coding every single rule, we're feeding the AI tons of data and letting it figure out the best approach.
Exactly. It's about letting data drive the development of the AI rather than relying solely on our ability to articulate every single step. It's like the AI is writing its own code in a way.
That's incredible. So it's this whole other level of learning and adaptation. It's like we've gone from giving AI the answers to showing it how to find the answers.
And that leads to some pretty interesting questions about the different levels of AI, which the document also touches on.
Right, the whole narrow AI versus human level AI
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. Right now, most of the AI we interact with is narrow AI. It's designed to do specific tasks really well, like playing chess, recommending movies, or, filtering spam from your inbox.
Right, right. Like little AI specialists, each with their own
Yeah,
expertise. So when we talk about things like Siri or Alexa or even self-driving cars, that's all narrow AI.
pretty much. They're really good at what they do, but they can't, like, write a symphony or understand a Shakespearean sonnet.
Which brings us to this whole human level AI thing. Talk about a whole other ballgame. What would it even take to create an AI that could compose music or debate philosophy?
Well, the document actually refers to that as artificial general intelligence, or
Yeah.
AGI. And honestly, that's the holy grail in AI that can understand, learn, and adapt across any domain, just like a human.
So not just mastering specific tasks,
Yeah.
but actually replicating the essence of human intelligence.
Yeah.
Wow. Now that's what I call a deep dive.
Right. And to achieve that, we're talking about replicating things like common sense, creativity, emotional intelligence, things that are incredibly difficult, if not impossible, to program directly.
It's like we're trying to recreate the most complex thing we know of the human brain with all its quirks and capabilities. No wonder it's such a huge challenge. But if we did crack that code,
It would be revolutionary. Think about the possibilities. AI collaborating with us to solve complex problems from climate change to disease. It's pretty mind-blowing stuff.
it really is. And this whole deep dive has really gotten me thinking, not just about the technical side of AI, but also the ethical implications.
Absolutely. And that's something the document touches on too, with this idea of human-centered AI. It's not about building machines to replace us, but rather building machines to empower us.
Like AI tools that help us be more efficient, make better decisions, or even just free up our time so we can focus on things that really matter.
Exactly. Think of AI as a powerful tool, not a replacement for human ingenuity. It's about designing these systems to work with us, not against us.
So it's not about us versus them, but rather us with them. And that's a really important distinction, especially as these technologies continue to evolve.
Couldn't agree more. And the more we understand about AI, the better equipped we'll be to shape its future in a way that benefits all of humanity.
Absolutely. Well, on that note, I think we've definitely surfaced from our deep dive, and I'm feeling way more informed.
Glad to hear it. It's a complex topic, but hopefully we've demystified some of the jargon and sparked some curiosity along the way.
Totally. For anyone listening who's ever felt lost in the AI hype, I hope this deep dive gave you a solid foundation. It's all about learning and adapting, right? Just like AI itself.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And the journey is just beginning. Who knows what incredible AI-powered future awaits?
I, for one, am excited to find out.